much bigger threat to the men in blue. That's him! Kill the bastard with the video camera! Get him!
Hey guys, Rogue Nation here with you today. Sorry I've been gone for a couple of days. I've been relaxing, kind of decompressed from court last week and trying to get my probation and everything set up to find out what the parameters on that stuff is. As soon as I know more, I'm definitely going to go live and let everybody know what's going on. But today, we got a story out of Bonifay, Holmes County, Florida, which is up in the Panhandle. A lot of issues with these folks. You've seen numerous stories that I've done on the county going back a couple of years when the Fondos requested me to come up there. This story here today is about a juvenile. He's in school here, and in this beginning clip here you'll see it's only 50 seconds long. It's crappy video, but it's all we got, right? So in the video you see a guy in blue jeans and like an orangish reddish shirt or whatever. That's the teacher slash correctional officer, right? And as the video starts, you can see him standing up, the kid standing up, and in front of him there's another deputy sheriff there, okay? So they could have easily restrained this juvenile without resorting to what we're going to see here, and basically the cover-up of it since then. I don't think any news outlets covered this. We will be talking, well, we have a correspondent, That Woman News, and she'll be speaking with the juvenile and his mother, and we'll get to that right after this like little 50-second clip of what happened, so he can walk you through exactly what it is that happened, and then we'll talk again after. All right, guys.
Oh my fucking god, what the fuck? I can't do that. He keeps slamming on the ground. I'm watching this video. Fucking bitch! Go fucking bitch off me!
This is the young man, Jackson Bacon, who was assaulted by Jesse Brown and Russell McNeil with the Holmes County Sheriff's Office. Jesse Brown was a teacher slash instructor who was still at the GAP program after the assault. He works for the Holmes County Sheriff's Office at the jail as well. This young man here, the victim, is going to tell you what occurred prior to stepping out of that door when the video began rolling.
Alright, so they called me into the office, and when they called me into the office, they called also one of the teachers up to the office, and they had said that I was trying to pull down the roof on one of the dugouts at the school, which has already been basically already been torn down. It's already worn out and everything, and I was never inside that dugout. I was always outside the dugout. So I was trying to tell them that, and when I was telling them that, they wouldn't listen to me, and they kept on talking that I was like, they kept on saying that I did tear it down, that I was like trying to tear it down intentionally. So when they kept on saying that, I walked out of the building, and when I walked out of the building, I was on my way home, and Jesse Brown walked in front of me, and he was calling me a girl. He's like, "Where are you going, little girl? Where are you going?" So I had shoved him all away from me, and I was about to walk home. And as soon as I stepped one step forward, he grabbed me by the neck and pulled me to the ground. And when he pulled me to the ground, I was screaming, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe." And he had his knee and his whole body on top of me. And when they finally got me up, they had me in handcuffs. And the cop was holding me by the neck like this, and he told me to be quiet, and he told me to chill out. So I did swear and everything. And when I swore, he grabbed me like this and took me against the wall. And then when they did that, they had every single kid to go inside. And when they got every kid to go inside, they brought me into the cop car. And when they got me into the cop car, the cop basically just threw me into the car and closed the door. And then when I got into the car, he told me to move to the other side, and I was like, I can't. And then he was like, you're gonna have to. So when I did that, I had the door, the window was down, and I was asking them if I can get a cup of water, and they were just sitting there saying I can't have no water. And as I was saying that, they called in another resource officer, Miss Odom, and finally.
Miss Odom is also Michael Rayleigh's sister, who is a lieutenant over the school resource officers in Holmes County, Florida. So we're going to see here soon how all of this ties into the good old boy system of corruption, how it ties into who your family is, who you're related to, and who you know. Please, Jackson, continue.
When they finally got me the cup of water, I got the water, and when they finally got me out of the car, I was asking them if they could call my mom to get an inhaler because I couldn't breathe at all, and I was basically having an asthma attack. And when they finally got me out of the car, I was asking them if they can take off the handcuffs so I could do this right here to breathe, and they wouldn't never take the handcuffs off.
Did they give you access to your inhaler?
No, they didn't. So the only time they took the handcuffs off was when the ambulance got there, and they basically realized that my hands were so red because the cuffs were so tight when they put it on, so they had to ask the cop to take it off. And when the cop came with the key, he took his time taking the handcuffs off. And when they took the handcuffs off, after they did all the stuff, they when the ambulance left, they were just sitting there and they were trying to tell me to be calm, don't talk, be calm, don't talk. And when my mom got there, they didn't tell my mom nothing about what occurred. And when
they lied to me and all, they said that he was detained. That was it. And I thought immediately he got into a fight with another student because he was bleeding. He was messed up. You know, I seen bruises and scratches all over him, all over his neck. His hair was like out of place. You know, he looked like he had been roughed up, you know. So I asked him.
Did the school notify you that a teacher assaulted him?
No.
Did the school notify you that a deputy had assaulted him?
No.
So you were not told anything?
The only thing that she said was that...
And who was she?
Adrian Odom, is that he had to be detained.
She didn't give you any reason as to why he was detained?
That's all she said.
And she said that he tried to break the window of the door. He pushed the door so hard that he tried to break the window, and that she was going to charge him with a misdemeanor charge.
Okay. You are Jackson's mom. Can you tell me your name?
Danielle Finch.
All right, Danielle. The night of the conversation that you had with Rayleigh, what did Rayleigh say to you in regards, not your son who dates his granddaughter, but what did he say to you in regards to your son Jackson?
I asked for documentation or some kind of piece of paper, report, you know, whatever, to, you know, just simply have the date of, you know, the occurrence so I could have some kind of, you know, proof for my attorney. He refused to give it to me. He told me it was 7:30 at night. He ain't had his dinner yet, and that I wasn't going to get anything that I wanted. He also told me that my son deserved to be in DJJ, and I told him no, he didn't. He didn't deserve to be in DJJ because he hadn't done anything wrong. He was the one that, you know, got abused, and he pretty much laughed at me. I told him if he was to send my child to DJJ, I would fight it in court, of course.
And what has happened to
then,
you since this incident has occurred? Like, how many times have you been to the sheriff's department so far asking for reports?
Once.
Okay.
And I've also emailed.
Right. And do you have copies of the emails that you've received from Miss Prescott?
I do.
Okay. And what was her reasoning for not giving you any information on your son or the report?
She said the investigation was still ongoing.
Okay. And tomorrow or today one, what day is it that you intend to file charges against Jesse Brown, Michael Rayleigh, and Russell McNeil?
Either today or first thing in the morning.
Okay. Jackson, from that point of where they denied you...
Can I also say what he said? He also told me that since I was being a BITCH, that he was going to call Jules and have her break up with my oldest boy. And I told him, I said, that's fine. I said, are you bullying me right now? Are you really bullying me on the phone?
What did he tell you his position was at the Holmes County Sheriff's Office?
He was a U.S. Marshal.
Okay, so currently while he was on the phone with you, he was working for the U.S. Marshals Service out of Bay County, Florida. Michael Rayleigh does is employed with the Holmes County Sheriff's Office, and he is also employed with that organization in Bay County, Florida, which is also part of the 14th Judicial Circuit. There are times that Mr. Rayleigh wears his U.S. Marshal's shirt on duty at the Sheriff's Office. Whether or not he's getting paid for the U.S. Marshal Services and the Holmes County Sheriff's Department at the same time, I'm uncertain of, but I am certain that if someone has the courage to come forward, anyone,
Please
or if
help us.
anybody is willing to try to get the documentation and proof that's needed to show that Michael Rayleigh is possibly double dipping into the system of payment, please reach out to me. I'll submit my contact information here at the end of Jackson's video. I'm going to continue to ask him some questions before we go drop him off. Jackson, when they refuse to give you an inhaler or let you hold your arms over your head to catch your breath, at any time, did you feel threatened? Did you feel afraid?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you feel like would happen to you?
I felt like I was basically about to die the whole time that I was inside that cop car.
Prior to this, had Jesse Brown, the teacher, verbally assaulted you before this incident?
Yeah, that the same year. Yeah, when I came out of the office like a couple months before this, and I was crying. And when I was crying, I walked into the lunchroom, the cafeteria, and he was like, "Why are you crying, little girl? Why are you crying?" And that time, I was always like trying to keep my distance away from him because he was always trying to be mean to me in some type of way. And
have you ever witnessed him being mean to other students that he feels
yeah,
he could...
multiple times.
Multiple times. Don't give names, but about how many male students do you know of?
Probably like 6 or 7.
All right. And how many females you think?
Like 3 or 4.
Okay. Well, we're going to continue this because your mother now has to drop you off. We are on the way to get him to the...
There you have it. And, you know, you pushed the door too hard. It's a shame what they're criminalizing now our children over. You know, it's bad enough when it's the adults, but now you're criminalizing kids for just ridiculous and idiotic things that never would have flew when I was a kid. And this is an issue with having a cop in every school. Every kind of bad behavior is criminal, right? So, alright guys, leave your comments and suggestions, anything in the comment section. I will be doing another story today about Bonifay. Again, this place has been on my radar for years now. There's a lot of bad actors there. So stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching, guys. And make sure you got that like, subscribe, and that bell hit so you know what's going to go on with all my court cases and stuff. I got lots of updates coming up.